Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Kim here. And today is a different kind of day. A lot of talking today. So here's a question for you. If Taylor Swift can have Swifties, why can't Kim have Thrifties? So obviously I had a little too much time on my hand while I was doing slow stitching because it allowed me to multitask and do my stitching and use my brain at the same time. Very interesting and sometimes very scary. So I came up with this idea called Kims Thriftees, meaning people, just like Taylor Swift has Swifties. Yeah, it can be in the same level as her. Why not? So a lot of you have expressed, that you would love to go thrifting with me. Some of you comment that, you don't find pieces of sari trims, or you don't find purple lace, or, that certain thing that you like. So I thought, a great way to help me to purge some of my supplies and to still be able to buy whatever I think is worth buying, I thought I would come up with an idea of you thrifting with me. And so I'm going to show you the box first. I'm going to get this thing out of the way. This is a flat rate box from Canada Post. And it is 15 3/8 inches by 10 3/8 inches by 4 7/8. Now, I'm going to just show it to you on the side. Now, maybe some of you have gotten boxes like this before. It is quite, it's deep. My whole arm is, I'm touching the bottom of the box. You can't really see it, but if you're in Canada, you could go to your post office and say, can you show me how big a medium box is? Because this is a medium. I'm working with the medium-sized box. Now, at this point, it's only going to be available in Canada, what I'm offering. But for those of you in other places, do take note, because if this is an ongoing thing, and if things change around the world, that, tariffs, all the unrest that's going on, and we can freely start mailing again, I will certainly open this up to U.S. thrifties as well. So the idea is, when I do my Thrifty Canucks video, I would show all the items that I get. And you guys, you like the videos. I show you what to do with some of the items. Some things are generic that we use all the time, like wool and stuff. But there are things that are unusual and different that I would like to offer to my thrifties that they can add into their box. Now the box, you saw the size of the box. If you go to the post office, it's $24.99, subject to change, but right now we're going with the $24.99. And I'm looking at a $50 total with the box to fill it for you. Now, you get to choose every single item. I don't decide what's going in your box. You do. So it could take a while to fill these boxes. It could take 3 months. It could take 6 months, depending on what it is that you like and how you want to add to it. But the price for the box would be $50 in Canadian funds, and I would accept an e-transfer, or I would accept a PayPal payment with a $5 surcharge, because PayPal charges me fees. So I have to pass those fees on to you, because I am not making very much money. When you look at $24.99 plus taxes, it's almost $30 for the box. And then the $20 is what you're going to give me for all the thrifting we're going to do together. So I think it's pretty fair price considering how much you're going to get in there. And like I said, you get to choose every single item. To give you an idea of how big this box is, again, do go stop at the post office. I won't show you what they are. I have 48 sheets of digital paper here, all kinds. And you can see, I think you can see the whole, like it doesn't even come to the top. So 12 by 12 paper would fit in here, like rolled up and stuff. And it certainly doesn't take up any space. And there's 48 sheets of paper here. Another example, not that anybody's getting this, but I have this mushroom book, and this is one of those large mushroom books that I thrifted. Again, it doesn't even come to the top of the box from the bottom, and it certainly doesn't even really make much dent. And again, not that we'll have a lot of books that we want to put in them, but you know, there will be some opportunity for books. And so the whole idea is, when I go thrifting, not everything will be available to the thrifties. But some items I will say, this is what's available to the thrifties, and I'll explain that more later. And there'll be a maximum limit of thrifties that can join at any given time. But for example, you know, if I do get a roll of this fiber and I say, okay, this is open to my thrifties, I'm going to cut this off in 5-yard lengths. This is how much 5 yards is. I know it doesn't look like much right now, but it will go in your box, and only if you want it, because maybe you don't like this color. Maybe you would rather have 5 yards in this blue yarn, if that's what I'm showing in my thrifty video. So here's 5 yards of the blue yarn already pre-cut. And so you can see it doesn't take up any room. I can squish this down to nothing. And believe me, if you've ever received boxes from me, you know I pack my boxes to the maximum. There is no breathing space in the box ever. And, you know, please, if you've received boxes from me and packages from me, please leave comments to let people know what the boxes would be like, because some of you know very well how I pack. And so you may choose this and not this, but you may be somebody who said, no, I want to build my collection of fibers, so I'm going to take both of them. So this is why some people would fill the box in 3 months or sooner, and some people would take 6 months to fill the box. Now, 6 months is a lot of time to wait for a $50 purchase. So I will accept payment in 2 payments, $25 each. And in the case of PayPal, because it's 2 payments and PayPal charges you a starting fee no matter what, it would be 2 payments of $30 each. So e-transfer, $25 each payment, PayPal, $30 each payment, and I would want it paid out within a couple of months. But that is just the starting point to give you an idea. So some people will fill the box very quickly. Some people will take a lot longer to fill the box, and it's at your own pace. Now, I'm only going to take 4 thrifties on at a time. So each of you will have a box with your name on it. And each video that I do, you will be offered, anywhere from 10 to 20 items that are available for thrifty purchasing. So again, not everything is available because it would have to be equal amounts, and it would have to be equal for all 4 people, which is why I couldn't take on somebody else. So for example, if I got some really fancy trims in, like I have this bolt of trim here. So if I got this in and I said, okay, I can offer everybody, all 4 of my thrifties 1 yard. Then they would take the 1 yard, and then I would have whatever's left over for myself, or however I want to use it. But that would be where I max out. If you don't take it, it doesn't matter because it just stays with me. But it's a way for me to reduce some of my supplies and to offer some of these things back to you as well. And this will be a really incredible deal. When you are done, I think you will be very, very pleased at what you get for your $50 or $60, however it works. So if you are interested in this, and I'm going to keep talking about it yet, but if you are interested in this, then do post a comment in the video below. And as my thrifties get on to this, I will arrange with you your payment. And then each week or each time I do a video, I will offer my thrifties and I will give you instructions of how to respond, because I want you to respond in the video that I'm working with at that time and where I'm showing you the items. Because it won't be limited just to Thrifty Canucks videos. It's going to include, sometimes I will be showing you something I'm making, and maybe I'm using this ribbon in my project that I'm making, and I will say, Thrifties, if you're interested in this ribbon, I will give you 2 yards into your package. I'm setting a limit, and I'll explain that further as well. So I might say 2 yards of this ribbon is available to my thrifties if they want it, and then you can say in the comments below, yes, I want it, and I will give you instructions of how to address that. And so yeah, throughout my regular videos, the thrifties will get to choose items that I show and say, this is available for you to add to your boxes. And so again, maybe you want it, maybe you don't. Maybe you say, oh, pink is not my color, because I know I struggle with pink too, but I work in pink. And maybe it's a piece of fabric, and I'll say I have enough to give all of my thrifties a piece of fabric. Now, the pieces of fabric, when I would cut them up for you, I would guarantee at least a 12 by 15 inch piece of fabric, only because you don't want an overload of it if you're making a journal cover or using it for lining and pockets and all that kind of stuff. But it guarantees that that's the size of piece you're going to get, unless I give you specific sizes in the particular video. Another thing I'm going to offer to the thrifties is I'm going to have what's called purge videos, like for thrifties to see some of the things that I want to purge. So again, I might have 10 different colors of fibers that I show you and say, do you want these fibers? And and it would be in 5 yards or 2 yards, or however we decide, however I decide at the time to cut it up. Or, if I'm making ephemera and I make a fancy pocket and I make 6 pockets, well, then I will offer 4 of them to my thrifties that they can each get one if they want it. So, there could be handmade items that you could get. There could be fabric, lace, trim, beads. Oh, I have so much beads. I have, beaded tassels and things that I make. All kinds of things that I would add to the package until your box is filled to the maximum. Maybe I go thrifting and I find a whole bunch of golden books, because I am lucky with those. I can find lots of them, and maybe I'll offer them to you, but I'll offer them to you upside down so you don't see what the other person is getting, unless I should mysteriously get 4 of them that are all the same, and then of course I would show them. But some items I will have to flip upside down and turn them around and say, choose, if you want one, you can get one. If you're the only person who chooses, then I can come back and say, do you want the one of Snow White, or do you want the one of Bambi, if that's the option. But for the most part, anything that I cannot offer you exactly the same has to be done where you don't know which one you're getting. But you're getting one of them. Maybe I get a book of ledger paper. So I might say, thrifties, if you want, I can add 5 sheets into your package. Or, maybe I'm working with a scrapbook paper. Sometimes I find scrapbook paper bundles, and I can say I'm offering, 10 sheets of scrapbook paper, and this is the color, that I can offer you. Or I can have 6 by 6 sheets where I take every single sheet and cut them into 4 and offer you them that way. So you would fill the box how you want to fill. And I promise you, it would be absolutely to the maximum. You will not get anything in that box when I am done. There won't be any packing paper. There won't be any loose movements, because even if I have to pack and repack the box several times to get it nice and tight, like stuff like this would go into a plastic baggie where it's flattened and all the air is taken out, because I'm all about value, and I think you guys know that. So going back to the purging videos, there'll be certain things like maybe I have an overload of buttons that I want to let go of, or silk cords, or maybe some handkerchiefs. or doilies. So these are things that I, again, would show you because, you know, a lot of times I get things like doilies where I'll get 6 of the same and I can offer it to you. Or, you know, I've bought a doily tablecloth and I can say, Thrifties, I'm cutting up this tablecloth and I have, you know, there's doilies this size and I can offer each of you 6 of them. So you can say yay or nay or however. Another thing, I'm going to be doing some dyeing in purple, and I will be dyeing in other colors as well. But if I'm dyeing in purple, I will make up some purple packages of, you know, bits and pieces that are all related. And I might say, Thrifties, do you want one of these packages? I will add it in. So because everybody will be at different paces, I may, you know, come to you and say, okay, you've only got about 4 inches left in the box. So, you know, if I have to put a book in there, we have to do some rearranging, and, you know, that might be the last, or after that, you might only be able to pick little things. So I will work with you to fill it again to the maximum so that you are getting the total value you can possibly get. And it may include something like private things that I will decide with your help to put in there to fill it. And those private items, of course, would not be seen by the other thrifties, because maybe you're first in line to fill your box and you're just waiting and you want that box, right? So I may put a couple of other things in there with your permission, and, you know, that we can agree upon. However, it will be me that decides, and I'll just offer these things based on what you've already kind of chosen, only because I don't want to be hand picking stuff too much for people. So those are the things that I would offer. And like I said, in every video, there could be a little segment of Thrifties, do you want this? It's up to you to watch the videos to say whether or not you want something, because you will have to leave the comment in the video. And I will probably have kind of like a 2-week hold, or not a 2-week hold, a 2-week maximum of when you can go back and comment on that video. So maybe if you're away on vacation for a week and you come back and you got to get caught up, you still have a week to get caught up and request some of those items. Because once I put it away, and it's no longer available after that. So because I would only have 4 people, I would have a waiting list if there are more people. And you will get some indication of when we're getting close to filling those boxes, but you would still only start on the day your box is actually ready to go. And I tell you, you're starting today. So in the videos, you would have to kind of keep track of the videos. I do date my videos. On occasion, I forget, but I do put the date right at the top in my description in my videos. So it's up to you to mark. I would suggest getting a notebook and saying, you know, on July 10th, Kim, I said yes to some blue fiber and some blue trim, and this is how much I'm getting. And then, you know, you will know that I've actually put it in your box, because once you've commented that, yes, you want some, it's not in your box until I say it's in the box. But you know, I don't always answer my comments quickly, but this might help me to answer them much quicker. But I will certainly tell you that I've put it into your box. So that'll be a sign, and that'll be probably like a little check mark for you on the end of your notes. So yeah, a little notebook would work well to keep track of what's going in your box, what colors, how much. So you have an idea of how that box is coming along. And the fun part will be when you get that box, because even though you will remember the stuff, or you can go back and view on the video what it was, it's still going to be different when you get it in person. So is it worthwhile to me? Not really. You know, in the end, you're going to get some stuff that comes out of my private stash that I may have paid a lot of money for, but I'm looking to purge. I'm looking to constantly move things to keep my creativity going and to be able to offer you more all the time. So you are the winner in these boxes. And, you know, it only takes the first 4 of you to sign up and then explain, because what's going to happen at the end is when you finally filled that box, I will do an unboxing for you on a video. It'll be a thrifty, Kims Thriftees unboxing. And so I will unbox to rebox to send it to you. However, anything that we've made, any slight private add-ons, or any where you know, I said the golden book where you chose the book upside down, we will not show those items in the box, and I'm pretty good at remembering that stuff, and that stuff is pretty, you know, pretty easy to catch up with. So those items will not be shown, but I will discuss that there are other items. So just to quickly go through my notes, yes, the fibers will mostly be in 5 yards. There could be books, but not necessarily the same. Although I do get a lot of music books and a lot of music sheets that I would share, just individual pieces. You know, I do get a lot of vintage books where I might say, Thrifties, I'm offering you 10 pages. So then everybody would sort of get the same, but in a music book, you may not have the same title on the page, but you would have the same type of music. So at the end, if there's a smidgen of room, I may add a gifty on top of that. So it'll be a thrifty gifty. And I think that's kind of where we're going right here. Like I said, bonus items will be handmade things, some optional things, some different supplies that I have way too much of. It could, you know, when I get these BB craft items, I might say, Thrifties, do you want a yard of this, or do you want a foot of it? You know, depending on what it is. If I get a sari dress, I might offer to cut up strips that are 2-inch wide and give you a 2-inch wide strip that's 1 yard long or 2 yards long, depending on the size of the garment. And then if I have sari trims, well, the trims, I'm going to divide them up into 5 if I feel it's something that is worthwhile. Because, you know, sometimes trims are only 8 inches. Well, I can't offer 4 of you and still keep some for myself when it's a 8 or 10 inch piece of trim. But if it's something that goes around a whole skirt or several rows of it, then I can certainly offer that. If it's a dress that has a lot of lacy flowers on it where you would be able to cut out the appliques and stuff, then I would again offer you a piece of it, and I would show you what I would offer, and then you would leave a comment in the description below. So I think that pretty much says everything. Yeah, if there are more than 4 people who decide to take me up on this offer, then you would go on a waiting list, and you can go on the list again once you've got your box. Absolutely, because I think this is something that we could really have a lot of fun with and keep going all the time. I have no shortage of things, and so as you fill this box of all the lovely things that you want, have you ever shopped on Temu or BB Craft or AliExpress, and you want a little bit of everything, but you don't want 50 of it? You're going to have that opportunity to have those kinds of things where I say I'm offering you 6 of this or 4 of this or a dozen. And I promise, you know, the boxes will be incredible. And while you are out of Canada and I can't offer it to you at this time, do keep an eye out on what's going on, and I will mention it in different videos. If I feel that we're getting closer to having an option to have other countries join in, then I will certainly look at how we can accommodate you as well. But the maximum I will take on at any given time is 4, and Canada will have first option first because they have a set box size. Any other country, I would use that box for measuring when it's full, and that will then go into something else, because the Canada flat rate boxes can only be shipped from Canada, but I can still use it as a form of measurement to measure your box progress. So I hope that makes sense. I hope it's something that you're interested in, and that you would have fun filling with me. So you'd be thrifting along with me in a different kind of way. And it would be just a fun way to share with you and a fun way to get things moving for me. So this is the first video. This video will go into a private, or not a private, it'll go into a separate playlist called Kims Thriftees. And you can go back and see the videos. If you're just joining and you want the information on what is a thrifty, this is the first video. This is the explanation of what is a Kims Thrifty. And so that will be the first video in the list, and then I will include any videos where I do purging. Those will go automatically into there. So any purging that I offer Thrifties will be available for you to see. So you can see the kind of items that are going into these boxes. Regular Thrifty Canucks videos will show up as Thrifty Canucks, but I will discuss Thrifties, my Thrifties, what they can get from that day's stuff. You know, whether, like I said, whether it's paper or fabric or trinkets or whatever I have put together. So either way, the playlist will be offered for the more where it's more directed to Thrifties, like the purging and the information, and then the general public will see the Thrifty Canucks videos, and so they will see some of the things that you choose. Also, you will have to choose by leaving your comment in the video, but I will explain all that as we go along. So yeah, that's it. If you are interested, please leave your name below in this video. It'll only be for the first 4 people to actually join. And then if there are any people on the waiting list, you know, your names would go on the waiting list on that video. And as spots come open, I will take off the waiting list, and anybody new that comes along can put their name on this video as being on the waiting list. And so you can actually see your name as it comes through, because it is chronological. So this way you know where you are in line as things move along. I hope this is something that can work. I promise you these are well worth it. I promise you that you will enjoy and have so much fun putting things into your box because it's tailored directly to you, because it's curated by you. It's what you want and how you want to get it. And yeah, you start adding things up, I promise you $50 is well worth the box. So thank you very much for watching. I want to wish you all a very creative day and a creative week. And yeah, if you're interested, leave me a comment below. That's it. That's all. Bye for now.